Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2018 Queensland Premier Rugby Triple M semi-finals, the Hospital Challenge Cup. My name is Jay Staunton, and this afternoon we are live from Ballymore Stadium, the home of Queensland Rugby, the major semi-final clash between the University of Queensland and Jeeps. This match will see two of the competition's oldest standing teams go head-to-head in what is a rematch of last year's major semi-final and grand final. These two teams have continued their 2017 form through to 2018, and this afternoon's match will add another chapter to the UQ Jeeps rivalry. As I said, my name is Jay Staunton, and joining me in the commentary today is former UQ and Westpac Tim Mosey and Jeeps reserve grade scrum half and club captain Tom Christie. Gents, I mean, it's a long-standing rivalry. How excited are you guys for today's matchup?
Very excited, Jay, today for today's matchup. UQ's going to be hard to beat, I think. Yeah, absolutely, Jable. It's always a great occasion when Jeeps and Uni come together, and it's just reward for the two most dominant teams in the semi-final.
100%. We've got the top two teams, as you just said. Now, Tim, UQ have claimed the Bunter Bowl, the Wellesby Cup, the Horsley Cup for the minor premiership in the last 2 weeks, and they seem to be peaking right at the perfect time.
Yeah, they are. I think Nick Heaton, their coach, has got plenty of experience leading his side into finals, and he's got him ready to go this weekend.
100%. And on the other side of the coin there, Tommy, Jeeps obviously suffered a huge loss to UQ a couple of weeks ago, but then bounced back and absolutely smoked East last week. What can we expect from the Jeeps boys today?
I think they'll be across their detail a bit more. That game against UQ showed a few shortcomings, and they've really worked hard over to improve those over the last couple of weeks, and hence the result last week against East.
And if they can bounce back, who knows what happens today. So we know obviously the winner of today's match is rewarded with a direct entry straight to the grand final in 2 weeks, whereas the loser will obviously face the winner of the game just after this, East versus South, in the minor semi-final. So I'll ask you then first, Timmy Mosey, how much is on line today for Uni?
Oh, I think there's a lot. I think they've probably got a little bit of comfort knowing that if they lose, they get a second crack at the cherry. They've had a good last few weeks. They'll be looking for a big game today, but yeah, I think they'll be pretty comfortable with whatever happens.
100%. And on the other side then there, Tommy, how much is on the line today for Jeeps, especially with their in-and-out form of late?
Yeah, look, I think, having a week off, if we can get the potential wins, really good. We've got a few blokes who are nursing a few injuries, and to get them right for that extra week would be fantastic.
100%. We can see the teams coming out right now, so we'll just rifle through the team list really quickly. And first up, we'll have Tim, you'll take us through the Uni side.
Up front, we've got Tom Court, Campbell Wakely and Hamish Richardson. We've got Pat Morey and Angus Scott Young on the second row. Jack DeGangan, Wyatt Setu and Sam Wallace round out the back row. Tate McDermott starting at halfback. James Dalgleish, the dangerous Will Eadie on the wing. Brad Twydale and Con Foley in the centres. Josh Birch, Jock Campbell rounds out the back line.
100%. We can see that there. Now on the other side, we've got Jeeps there, Tommy.
Yeah, we've got both the Smiths boys, JP and Ruan, propping the scrum with Ryan Freeney at hooker. Ollie Bartlett, Dan Gorman in the second row. Back row of Michael Richards, who's the captain today. Tom Kibble and Mitch King at number 8. Halves, James Tuttle, Davis DeVita. On the wings, we've got John O'Kent and Pat Nicholson, with Alfonso Horomaya and Jay Thompson in the centres, and the Samoan international at the back, Albert Nakoro.
100%. We've got two red-hot teams right here, just as we're about to get underway with the Triple M Queensland Premier Rugby semi-final. Looks like Jimmy Dalgleish has belted that
accurately.
Not out on the full. Yeah, it was a fantastically accurate kick.
Great start there. He's probably pretty lucky.
You'd have to think so, but this will be a really big part of today's game, this set piece between the two sides. As we see Ryan Freeney lining up, squinting as he looks into the afternoon sun. They find Mitch King at the front.
Referee today, Jordan Way.
Sevens specialist, done a lot on the sevens scene. HSBC Sevens World Series. As you see Tom Kibble get the ball back to Bobby Tuttle, who gives a short ball there to Alfonso Horomaya, who does what he does best and hits that line hard. And Wyatt Setu does the exact same, does what he does best and affects his 33rd turnover of the season. He's the number one in the competition.
It's a good start there from Setu. He was straight on the ball really quick. Jeeps couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, right idea with Jeeps there, trying to exit through Alfonso, who's a big body, but really important the supporting players are getting that latch onto him to take Setu out of that breakdown contest.
And that's it, right? I mean, it's more so the hunting in numbers, because we know how good Setu is over the ball, but they've got a back row as well that has Jack DeGangan, the premiership captain from last year, so who is actually a specialist seven himself, so they're going to be really putting a lot of pressure on that breakdown.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of pressure on the ball today, UQ. Jeeps are going to have to be on their game. This will be a nice little settler here for Dalgleish. 67 out of 89 this year, 75%. Outstanding kicking stats there from the young fella.
And he's the leading point scorer for the season as well as Jimmy Dalglish with 166 points. So can absolutely tally them up with ease.
And a lot off the boot too. Only 5 tries.
Strikes it. And that's flags. Jimmy Dalglish gets the early points. 3 points to nil for Uni. Less than 2 minutes in.
Nice settler there for UQ. They'll be happy with that. They'll get into their work off the kickoff here, I'd say.
Yeah, disappointing start there by Jeeves, not catching the kick-off and then a turnover off the first carry. They're looking to obviously try and get the ball back off this and get a bit of continuity.
As we see the Jeeps boys taking their time and bringing rain with that one. That's gone exactly 10.5 metres and it's picked up there by Jeeps.
Gee, that's a great kick there from Thompson, I believe. Off the left boot. Came down with snow. It looks like Uni are going to want to control the pace of the game today. Just looks like they're taking the time to get to the set.
And we can see those stats there as well. Their set piece for Uni. 84% success rate, but then obviously they've cooked that one, but they've got the half arm there. As Tate McDermott goes quick, the late inclusion past the medical today as he puts it on the toe with no other options. As we see, Jono can't take it back into contact. And Mitch King with the pick and go straight into Tate McDermott, and man on fire here. He's crawling up the field. As Tuttle gets it out to the young man, Tom Kibble. Good strong run there from Kibble. As we see there, JP Smith coming into contact. As they go out the back to Davis Tavita to Horamiah, who finds, looks like Paddy Nicholson coming into the line. Sorry, it was Albert Nikoro. Oh my God, we see Scott Young absolutely belting Smith there as Bobby Tuttle puts that kick in behind. And Jock Campbell finds a bit of space outside for Will Eadie, but he might have to tiptoe down the sideline and does a great job there, does the young man. As we see Campbell Wakely take a settler into contact. And they're taking their time. It looks like they're going to effect a box kick here as McDermott puts it up and puts the pressure on Nikoro, who takes it. Wow. And Bobby Tuttle gets down on the ball and wins it back for Jeeps.
That's a fair take from Nikoro there.
Fantastic catch as we see the pencil himself, Michael Richards, take a settler there.
Stuck in there, no advantage, strip forward and the tackle knock on.
As we see there, it was unplayable and Jordan Way said stripped in the contact there. It's been pretty frenetic thus far, hasn't it, Tommy?
Absolutely, and you expect that with Uni. Essentially, their back five from in the scrum are all back rowers, so they play with a great pace and they essentially run teams off the field. But Jeeps have got to weather this early storm.
And this will be interesting, as you said. They're probably running without 2 specialist second rowers out there, and now they're going up against what is obviously the best set piece in the scrum in the competition. 93% success rate. This could be big for them here, Mosey.
I think so. I think they'll look to dominate here a bit at scrum time, Jeeps. Going to be a great matchup with Tommy Court and JP Smith.
There's a strong base there from the Jeeps boys, and it's going up, and they've won the scrum penalty. First scrum penalty of the game. This could be a long day for Uni.
That's a great scrum there from Jeeps. The Smith brothers pushing through there. Ryan Freeney in the middle. They'll be happy with that start.
Two real contrasting styles there. Obviously, Jeeps have backed themselves at the set piece, whereas Uni like to fancy their chances in phase play. So I guess whoever controls the ball the most will be the one that benefits from that.
And that's it, right, as we see Bobby Tuttle put it into the 7th row of the grandstand. And that's right, Tommy. It seems whatever team is going to be dictating play best is obviously going to be the one that will come away with butter confection today, as we see Michael Richards take that ball very well at the top of the line out as Davis Vita finds Tommy Kibble in midfield, who's charging up.
He's lost that.
But he spilled the beans.
Oh,
but it looks like it's been raked down according to Jordan Way, as we see Bobby Tuttle bounce back down that blind side as Davis Vita. And it looks like JP Smith tried to effect a little tap-on straight into the grill of Ryan Freeney.
Yeah, that's the little thing we were referring to last week, or when we played Uni 2 weeks ago, just the detail there that's breaking down. We're in a prime position there to attack, and just guys overrunning their line.
Here he is, Tom Court. He's going to add a lot to the scrum today. He's got plenty of experience playing internationally for Ireland and the British Lions. Having first out at uni, he's coming back and helping them chase a premiership. Be the perfect picture end to his illustrious career.
Well, he only started playing footy when he was 24 years old. He was a shot putter at uni, and his doctor said you need to do more cardio.
So he pulled on a rugby jersey. That's brilliant.
Yep, he played at 6th grade and up in Premier grade and for the Reds later that year. So as we see the scrum, and it looks like Tom Court has just been smoked there by Ruan Smith. And he is G'd up, isn't he?
J-Ball, I'm a back, but I'm enjoying the front row contest already. 7 minutes into this game. What a start here for Jeeps. Gee, they're going to enjoy first phase play today, I think.
And if they keep that up, I think there might have to be a few early changes. You said it before, Tom, that they're running with a pretty inexperienced in regards to the positional play for a second row.
Yeah, that's the benefit Uni have got. They've got two very experienced players in Harry Hawkins and Adam Korchek to call on, both from the professional arena.
Yeah, not a tough gig when you can bring those two blokes off the bench in a major semi-final. As we see Freeney go to the front of the lineup with Mitch King as they set this rolling maul that we know they affect so well, as Dan Gorman works his way to the front, is now controlling things. But it's great defensive effort by Uni here, and that's a collapsed maul here. If they can't get this out, as you see White Setu jump over the top. Absolute Superman straight in there.
Yeah, great work there by Jack DeGagan. Got his hands on the ball and held it in there. So interesting now, scrum Uni ball. Jeeps will fancy their chances here.
They'll be wanting to get it quick to the back here, I'd imagine.
And you can hear Jordan Wade just having a quick yarn there to White Setu, letting him know you can't actually fly through the air like that.
Under pressure. Let's go, boys. We need to get it out. Here we go!
But this is interesting here, this set piece. Obviously, we've got the two Queensland representatives in Ruan and JP Smith going up against the British and Irish Lions representative in Tom Court. So you've got a lot of experience there, and Hamish Richardson isn't a slouch himself.
Stand up. There's space on this side. Okay, both of you. Stand up.
And again, let's go. Let's have a dig in. Here we go.
Well, what do you reckon they'll do here, Mosey? Do you reckon they'll just try and get the settler, or just try and get out of their 22, or try and work their way out a bit more?
I think they'll get a settler here. I think they'll look to play to Foley up the middle, and they'll try and get across the gain line. Maybe Dalglish will look to clear to the right-hand corner on the second phase.
McDermott with the feed, and it looks like the pressure's coming on strong, but the ball was at the back. So, as you said, Mosey, they've got Con Foley, one of the older heads in this side, taking the settler, and Jimmy Dalglish hammers it downfield. As we see Paddy Nicholson get it infield to Albert Nakoro, who came back last week and absolutely chopped up against East, puts it on the toe.
I like that.
And it's found grass as well, as Paddy Nicholson looks to get it back as he taps it back, but it's Hamish Richardson who gets it to Jock Campbell, who is pumped hard by Bobby Tuttle into touch.
Well, we could see a bit happen off broken play today. Nakoro's very dangerous. Quicksilver feet out the back.
They go to the back of the line out there, well taken by Dan Gorman as he marches forward. Tuttle clears to Tavita, who takes it into contact himself. He's isolated, and White said who's on that, but the cavalry arrived just in time. King. As we see Ruan Smith brought down well there by Jimmy Dalglish. Richards plays inside to Horamiah. It looks like Bobby Tuttle's under a bit of pressure there, and Tom Kibble with a good, strong run back into contact. As you see the left-footed little dab over the top. Great little kick there by Bobby Tuttle.
I think he's been forced into that, J-Ball. The defensive line for Uni's been really good, set early, and they're coming off the line really well. I think, he's been forced into that option.
Well, we've actually got the two teams in the competition that have conceded the least points. Uni 371, Jeeps 384. So I think you're going to see some very, very good defensive pressure today. And Pat Morey takes it in cleanly despite the pressure, as Uni set a rolling maul here for Tate McDermott just to plug it on the toe with a clearing box kick. And he's found some turf as well. Great little kick there from Tate McDermott as John O'Kent takes it up, and Nakoro isolated with wide settle all over him. But again, Jeeps there just in the nick of time as they bounce back down this near side with Tavita dropping it on the toe, and that is an absolute bludger of a kick straight into touch.
Probably the wrong side for a right footer to try and kick there. Probably want to go off the left foot, I reckon.
And you could see straight away he was spewing with the effort he put in there.
First really attacking opportunity UQ have had in the match so far. Bit of ball in the opposition half. I think they'll go up the middle again.
See Scott Young takes it down to McDermott, who plays it out to Sam Wallace, who drops it out the back, but it all a bit clunky as Mitch King is dragging Jimmy Dalgleish. And Pat Morey is wrapped up there by Tom Kibble, but he gets over that ad line well. Does Pat Morey. And they use that far side well as Campbell gets it out to Edie, who does well to stay in touch despite the pressure. And Richardson heavy into his opposing number. Dalgleish to Setu, who is pumped by the pencil. Wowee, Michael Richards absolutely drained him there, didn't he? And he's affected the turnover, has he? No, unfortunately not. That is tough.
Wow, that's a great hit from Richards there.
No, you want it fair, they've taken it.
And didn't get reward for his efforts. Both teams seem to be a little, I guess, slow into their play today, boys. And maybe there's a few nerves out there. First final.
Yeah, not too sure. They seem to be, they do seem to be a bit scratchy, both sides, actually.
I think they both have just got to trust their game. They're obviously here for a reason, and if you're worried about the outcome, it is going to have an influence on how you play. And speaking of influential players, Michael Richards is a GPS club stalwart. He's one of 5 brothers who've played at the club. His dad, John, was the club president last year, and he goes by the affectionate name of Pencil.
That's why we said he got absolutely smoked by the pencil. Did Setu before as Dan Gorman works his way through that maul, but unfortunately he's offside here. So they're playing the advantage as Wakely comes into contact, does well, as we see the pencil all over that ball again. He's absolutely everywhere in the opening 13 minutes.
Yeah, he's got a massive engine, Michael. He gets through a mountain of work, and he's tough as nails.
They're piggybacking him a little bit down here, Jeeps. They'll be probably a little disappointed to be on the receiving end of a few penalties there.
Kick for touch here, Tim, you reckon?
I think so.
Yep.
Well spotted.
Well, I didn't think I'm going to take the scrum.
I would have taken the shot.
And then you get your name on the scoreboard.
But they do back their rolling maul here, Uni. They do use it very effectively as they go to the front there with Angus Scott Young. But it seems they're well set, and Jeeps have been able to come straight through, and Ruan Smith is all over that. He's come through there. It's going to be tough for McDermott to get it out, but he does as he jinks and jives and takes the contact himself. So you think you're going to see a few pick and goes here as you see a clearance out to Scott Young, who crawls forward. We've now got Richardson out the back with Sam Wallace taking into contact, who's hit hard by Ollie Bartlett and JP Smith. They're playing one out here with Morey taking the contact with a quick pick and go there from Tom Court.
Yeah, Mitch King offside there, unfortunately.
So they've got the advantage. You're going to probably see Uni just try and use this advantage to their advantage, obviously. And there's none there, so they've gotten that penalty as well.
Yeah, look, although Jeeps gave away a penalty there, I think they'll be happy with that because, with the potential of 7 points, they'll gladly give up the 3.
Yeah, they'll be knowing what's coming at them here.
Oh, geez.
There's a quick tap, and Tate McDermott snipes close to the line. He's half a metre away. As we see Morey duck into half, as he's gone up against the goalpost. If he's against the goalpost there, that's a try, but Jordan Way can't see anything. So he's had to call it held up.
Gee, he might come up with the ball on the line here. There's Morey. But I tell you what, they're good close in here, UQ. This is pretty much what they'll do all game. Keep it tight. I reckon he's got it down pretty close there to the post. Obviously, Jordan Way in a great position to see it. He's called it held up.
But yeah, obviously you can't give it just on the sheer thought of it. As we see there, big shoulders of Ryan Freeney. Looks like he's blown already, the big man.
He's taking a few seagulls in there.
But he'll be a big loss if he has to go off. Big Ryan Freeney, he's a stalwart of the club.
He'll be right. He's been in a... It's not his first rodeo.
This one, the last one was 2 coming in late.
Yeah, UQ are going to play to the corners here, I think. Play to their strengths. Their pick and go in the 22 has been effective for them for years. They scored a lot of tries through their pick and go and through their forwards. I think they'll stick with that come finals time.
Big scrum here, though. Jeeps will really put the afterburners on here to go after the UQ scrum.
There he is, Freeney's ready to go.
Conscious of discipline down here? Yep, conscious of discipline down here.
And it looks like Uni have got a bit of a stacked blind side there, so they might be trying to come down this right side here with a bit of space. Get some one-on-ones.
A lot of space here for Jock Campbell on the right.
Who's been absolutely electric all season. He's actually got 11 try assists, tops of the competition, and 2 hat-tricks in his last 3 games. So he certainly knows how to play footy, does Jock Campbell.
Yeah, he's been coming into form in the right end of the year. Had a great game a couple of weeks ago against the Bulldogs. Scored a few tries in that match. Might have been one of his hat-trick matches. Yeah, they might look to use him here.
Well, he's been one of the form players in the competition all season. Unfortunately missed about a month and a half with a pinged hammy, but coming good at the right end of the season as we see some strong pressure from Jeeps there. A good quick ball. Sam Wallace at the back of the scrum. Targets the Jeeps defensive line. And they're playing it slow here as Wakely just takes a settler straight into Mitch King, who gets it out. Jimmy Dalgleish. Jimmy Dalgleish burrows over, and Jimmy Dalgleish gets first 5-pointer of the match for the Students 17 minutes in.
I like the way Sam Wallace used width off the back of the scrum here, as we'll see in a moment in the replay. He ran at the second defender, which doesn't enable Jeeps to get around the corner. With the pick and go here, ball out to Dalgleish, and he finishes it off. It's pretty well worked there from UQ. Unfortunately, Jeeps couldn't hold on.
Yeah, it's a benefit of having a number 8 with really good foot speed like Sam Wallace. He knew that the back row Jeeps were going to be committed to that scrum going for the potential turnover, and he did a great job to get out and get momentum on the ball for Uni.
And just a 6th try there for Jimmy Dalgleish. But as you said there, Mosey, in regards to coming out with that width there, they're doing that off the back of the ruck as well. They're not just picking and going because they know they're going to get absolutely smoked by some of the bigger bodies from Jeeps. They're playing that short pass because they obviously want a bit of width because it's going to be a bit easier for them. Yeah, and they find they might get a bit more go forward too, 2 or 3 out from the ruck, not just trying to keep it sort of, I guess, tight. They'll keep it tight in the 22, obviously, but yeah, they're playing with a little more width there. It's probably a tactic that Mick Hendon's got them working on the last week or 2.
And one of the great sites there, the formerly 4X Hill, now looks like the Newstead Brewery Hill here at Ballymore. Brewing Company Hill,
yep.
Great drop.
As Jimmy Dalgleish fires and hammers it straight through. So we've got Uni 10 points to 0 over Jeeps, 19 minutes into the Triple M major semi-final.
I don't think Jeeps will be too unhappy with the last 5 to 10 minutes, even though they've been defending. I think they'll be pretty keen to get some ball, though, down in the opposition half.
Short kick-off coming up here for sure.
You'd think so. Jay Thompson
and he goes long.
Does exactly as you say he won't do and puts it long there. As Jimmy Dalgleish.
He's dead set nearly kicked that back into the back of Jack DeGangan.
It was like the Super Rugby a couple of years ago. Remember the bloke kicked it into his mate in front of him?
Straight in the back of his head. Yeah. Was it Chris Jack or something? Crusaders? Bang.
So there.
Takes a lot of pressure off our playing skills, tell you that much. So we'll see a very crucial line out here for Jeeps. They want to stick this and work their way down into the Uni red zone. They go quick to the front there with Ollie Bartlett. And Tavita out to Tom Kibble in midfield. It gets to John O'Kent. And they've got some width here as Jay Thompson tries to dance through, and Tuttle goes down that far side. Not much room, but takes it into contact as Horamiah steps into half. And Tommy Kibble, the young man, first year out of school. And Pat Morrie's off his feet there. But he's gotten away with it. Jordan Way said he was sweet as we see Con Foley marching upfield. And McDermott now there going down the far side is Will Eadie. Will Eadie, the jet shoes. Paul Mercurio tiptoes his way through. Will Eadie Will Eadie, the youngster, scores from a mile out. That is an absolute perler.
I tell you what, he showed some great toe there, the young fella. He beat two. But I think the work here from Tate McDermott to identify where the space was down the blind side, we'll see here on the Triple M replay. Fantastic work there in the turnover from UQ. Confoli getting the ball, taking it forward. Good little bit of work here from Dalglish and McDermott, and then Eadie does the rest. He's swerving. He's off the right. He nearly goes to the ground there. He's straightening up. And then Nakoro couldn't go with him. Ryan Freeney, good chase. But, well done to the young man from Terrace a few years ago, I believe.
Yeah, real strength of Uni transitioning from defence to attack. They do it better than anyone in the competition, and it's a real opportunity that they'll see if they do get a turnover ball, shifting that point of attack, and they're good enough there to come away with a try.
And Jeeps will be filthy at the fact that they've given up good ball in good position.
Oh, absolutely. You look at the stem of that. There was a turnover. Yes, it was potentially Pat Murray was on his knee, but if there was support there, it would have been exaggerated in terms of that. So if there's no one over the breakdown, it's not a ruck.
Got to play to the whistle as we see Jimmy Dalglish just sneeze that one over with ease. So it's 15-0 Uni over Jeeps, 21 minutes in, and we've seen how quickly they can bounce back.
Yeah, I think we probably got a bit lucky there, UQ, but Jeeps are on the kickoff again. They'll be wondering what to do with this one.
I'm not going to call this
Which one's where's this going, Tommy?
Hopefully 10.
I'm back and it'll go short.
There we go.
I got it, nailed it. And it's gone exactly 10 metres. Jeez, that's a fantastic kick there from Jay Thompson, the Southland man, as we see John O'Kent, Johnny on the spot.
That's well done.
Back. But turnover ball again as we see McDermott swing it wide to Angus Scott Young in midfield. And he looks like he might be wrapped up here, but he's released. As they bounce back down this near side again, it's Tate McDermott. Looked like he was going to try and get the flick ball to Jock Campbell there, but he's wrapped up, and this should be a maul here. Jeeps don't have to roll, but Uni get the numbers there as DeGangan clears out to his flanker partner in Setu, who gets pumped himself.
Good shot
again.
Richards, yes.
He's up for it, isn't he? The pencil. And he can't do that, White Setu. Sorry, mate.
Stand up over it.
Can they follow over the ruck like that? Sure, they just went straight over. We couldn't.
It's they'll be happy with that, Jeeps. A little bit of a relieving penalty to them there. They've been going forward at the breakdown, but they're clearing past and leaving the ball sitting at the back, and UQ have sort of just picked it up a couple of times out of nowhere. They'll be a bit frustrated, I imagine, for that, Tommy.
Yeah, really important here. Jeeps get a bit of pay off this line-out. They've missed a couple of opportunities thus far, and back in 2 rounds ago at St. Lucia, their line-out didn't function too well. It's been a real work on, so look, it's really important that they get some outcome from this.
Absolutely.
As we see, Jeeps come down this near side with a little trick play, and Tommy Kibble puts his foot on the line.
I tell you what, I like that move. I would have loved to see Tommy Kibble come off his left foot just a touch after he got past McDermott. Try and push back towards the 5 metre line, as we see here. Great work.
Well set up, but it was just there where it would have worked.
Just there,
He might have thought he could just steamroll Tate McDermott. As we come back to live players, Bobby Tuttle gets it out to Horemire as Uni have spilt the beans on their own line out. Jeeps 10 metres out and closing on the Uni try line. They'll want to come away with some points here after so much pressure, as we see Richards take the contact. Good quick ball for Tuttle. Tuttle hit hard and he gets an offload away. And Tuttle back up to Mitch King. Mitch King taken down well. And it's quick play here by Jeeps as Horemire breaks the first tackle, holds off McDermott.
Setu on that again.
And Setu looks like he's got a good, clean place. But he's cleaned out as we see Tommy Kibble. Loves the contact, does the young man. Fresh out of school.
Great carries there by Kibble.
And gee whiz, there goes Albert Nakoro and getting absolutely lit up by Angus Scott Young.
Great shot. And great carry there from Nakoro.
As we see Jimmy Dalglish just hammer that straight into touch. Wowee. Strong line there from Nakoro, but didn't he get absolutely lit up? And here it is here. Here's a great shot. See you later, Albert Nakoro.
What, the first carry in State of Origin, isn't it?
Great
isn't
shot.
It's fantastic. Looked like Martin Lang, 2006. The good stuff. The head on a stick as we see Bobby Tuttle clear to John O'Kent stepping into the first receiver role, and Campbell Wakely seatbelts him up around the neck.
Could be in a bit of trouble there, Wakely.
Horemire with the settler as they bounce back to the left. Michael Richards again with big motor, just absolutely everywhere. As they're ping-ponging from side to side, clearly just looking to retain possession as Ruan Smith spills it. This is it here. We can see Jono Kent. Yeah, nothing too bad in it. Hit him on the shoulder and slipped up.
I don't want to hear him all going. Okay. Every decision.
Yeah, Jordan Wade just leading there, Michael Richards. He is getting plenty of advice from Dan Gorman there, former skipper.
I was about to say I didn't catch who it was, but it had to have been either Ryan Freeney or Dan Gorman. So
I thought it was Mitch King, but he was hunched over and he couldn't say anything. So maybe
he's struggling
not
to breathe, let alone talk. As we've got Jeeps with a fantastic opportunity here. I think you'll see them. They've cooked that a little bit, but Tom Kibble's done well to clean that up. As we see, Ruan Smith with short ball to his twin brother, JP.
great offload.
Horomaya rolls forward as we see. I would have thought Jimmy Dalglish was a mile offside there, but Jordan Way said it's play on. As they bounce down the far side, and Will Eadie, back yourself. Up against the pencil, puts it on the toe, and it comes off the feet.
Gee, I'd love to see that again. Didn't look
Didn't
look like Jimmy Dalglish got back on side there, but Jordan Way was in a better position than us.
Which indicates.
Yeah, he was loitering there.
But it's been called as we can see the crowd there to stand absolutely heaving for the major semi-final. We've got the minor semi-final just after this as well between East and South, which will be an absolute perler. As we see Angus Scott Young take the ball cleanly in the middle of the line out. And Uni just looking to settle things a bit. As McDermott puts the box in and it's been touched. And well caught there by Paddy Nicholson, and White Sedu's all over that. But he's gone off his feet there, you'd think. Jordan Way feels the same way. So Tuttle clears to Mitch King, who's hit hard by his opposite number in Sam Wallace. Ruan Smith with an offload to Horomaya. Horomaya takes the contact against Tate McDermott. Wasn't that pretty stuff from the tight head prop?
Would have loved to have seen him look right there.
Advantage is over.
We see Tom Kibble stepping into half.
Offside there.
And Gorman gets a short ball to Richards. As Jeeps are just marching up the field. Straight through the ruck there goes King.
Richards slow to get up.
And they've slowed the pill down here as Ruan Smith just takes a settler, and Richards back into the mixer. Gets hit and wrapped up by Hamish Richardson. There's no more advantage here for Jeeps, so they're going to have to use this as they find Gorman, the former skipper, taking it up as Davis Tavita takes contact. And Tom Court's on that. He's off his feet now, though. And they've got the advantage again now as we see JP Smith just tiptoeing his way through into contact. Now his brother Ruan getting hit hard by the young opposite number and Hamish Richardson and Gorman. Latched on goes Horomaya as he marches another 5 or so metres towards the Uni 22. And Kibble in absolutely everything, can go again, has picked it up and keeps going. He's not held there, but he's spilt it in the contact.
I'll tell you what, Tom Kibble is having an outstanding half of football for a young man.
Isn't he?
His carries have been exceptional, going forwards, hands on the ball. Whoa, what about the ball from Smith?
Great skill there.
Looking right. Oh, he had Tuttle on the inside.
Isn't that sexy stuff, seeing a front rower dropping a little flick pass?
I did like that very much.
Alphonse down his haunches there. I think Jeeps will look better, like when they've looked to play that little tip player amongst the forwards, shifting the point of attack. You know, carrying one out can be pretty predictable at times, and Uni you're up for the challenge in terms of the physicality. So I think there might be a little bit more pay outside that third and fourth defender for Jeeps and in attacking continuity.
Yeah, I think so. I think when they're getting quick ball, they look good, Jeeps. It's just when they get a little bit bogged down at the ruck, Uni get the opportunity to set their line well. They're just a bit tic-tac, side to side, bit of ping-pong.
And while we've actually got a bit of a break, we just got to give a special mention to Bill Corp, the major sponsor of UQ, for their long-term support of the club and grassroots rugby. And we see here, it looks like Bobby Tuttle, he's going to plug it into the corner, actually. So good high-tempo stuff there from Jeeps.
Yeah, I don't mind that option there. The down was 17. There's 10 to go in the half. Bit of a pivotal point here coming towards half-time for the next 10 minutes for Jeeps, I'd imagine.
You'll think they'll want to come away with some points having so much territory possession.
Yeah, absolutely, and they missed the last line out before, so hopefully they get their detail right and come away with some pay.
Get it to Bobby Tuttle in
Yeah,
the front there.
Tuttle.
Get him run over the top of Tom Court. As they hit straight in the middle to Dan Gorman. An absolute pillar of strength in this Jeeps forward pack, and they are well set up here, and they are rolling forward. They are steaming up. And this Jeeps maul is well set up as we see. It looks like even John O'Kent, the wing, is getting in the mixer now. Some of the backs are looking to get a bit of a sniff. And they've got the advantage now, and Jeeps are starting to dictate how well they play here with the short ball to Horamiah.
Tackle by Foley.
Gets chopped down low. As we see, Albert Nakoro doing what Albert Nakoro does best, and that's running lines and scoring tries.
And he didn't get scared off running that line the second time. Nakoro ran into some defence 5 minutes ago, but this time, straight up the middle. As we see here, great line from Nakoro. Busted a couple under the sticks.
Just touching on what you said before there, Tim, Jeeps look good when they shift the ball, and obviously that was quicker ruck ball as well, and hence they came away with a bit of pace. So I think although they are looking to play direct, they're still going to keep the point of contact moving.
Yeah, a little quicker ball there. It was well done off the back of the ruck there. He's taking his time here, Tuttle, to make sure he's getting the extra 2 points. And I think that's well deserved there from Jeeps. They probably want to come away with a few more points in this first half, and obviously Bobby's 62% kicking record. He's happy it's in front then for this shot.
Yeah, he's over the last couple of weeks he struggled a little bit off the tee, but he's been working really hard during the week with former Reds and Jeeps Premier Grade head coach Shane Arnold. So
Wayno.
It's definitely a feel thing kicking, and he feels like he's in a good headspace with his kicking at the moment.
And again, we've got to give a special mention to Height for Hire, the major sponsor of Jeeps Rugby, for their long-term support of the club and grassroots rugby. But as you said, I think this could be a game where the kicking comes into play with two teams that we know could score points but also defend them. So every single point will be critical, as we see Jimmy Dalgleish do exactly as I said, Mosey. He's gone long and he's hugging that touchline as Ollie Bartlett.
Great seed.
Has to whip a wobbly one out the back. As we see a good clearance out over the 50, but does not find touch, as we see Jock Campbell dancing into contact. We'll really want to find some grass real quick as Dan Gorman's looking to sneak in, as we see Tate McDermott dart down that far side with a short ball to Pat Morrie, who gets it out to Angus Scott Young. Here's Scott Young to Will Eadie. Will Eadie, too easy.
Tell you what, that's outstanding work once again down the short side from Tate McDermott. Saw the opportunity. Great ball to, I think it's Morrie there, was it?
Yeah,
running wide.
Pat Morrie, the back rower, or former back rower, now playing lop.
And here he goes. Great ball there. And Morrie identifies it well to Scott Young. Draw pass. Look off the left foot. Little straightener. Gives it to Eadie outside. Again. Jeeps would be disappointed in their short side defence there, Tommy.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's really important when you get points, obviously, that you get back-to-back scores, and letting Uni back in with a try straight after the score one of their own is really disappointing. But Tate McDermott had a ankle injury or concern coming into the game. Looks like it's holding up pretty well for him at the moment.
He's got a roll of tape on there, I tell you.
And we saw those stats there as well. Will Eadie, 12 tries this season alone. He can absolutely sniff him from a mile away. And on the back of a Uni backline that is spearheaded by Jimmy Dalgleish, you know, it can be pretty easy for the likes of Jock Campbell and Will Eadie and co.
Dangerous.
Well, we've seen also Cliffy Sedu has been absolutely killing it all season as well. So the all back three for Uni all season have been absolutely ripping up.
Be looking to keep a clean score sheet here.
Great strike.
And that's a perler from Jimmy Dalgleish as he absolutely snots it over from the touchline. So Uni, 24 points to 7 over Jeeps, 34 minutes in. I don't think we would have seen this coming.
No, I don't think so. I think Jeeps look a little rattled. I think they've been playing well, but they just they seem a little rattled.
As you see Jay Thompson again bringing rain with it, but well caught by
take.
Sam Wallace. And Tate McDermott drops it on the toe again, straight from the box. Hammers it down into the uni half, and Nikora was hit hard by Brad Twydale.
Great leg drive.
It looks like Sedu's on that again, but good clean out as we see Davis Tavita take the contact and hit hard. Jack DeGangan just getting called out real quick there as we see Horomire and Kibble again getting that ball out. And it looks like Paddy Nicholson's got a bit of space, but he's brought down from behind as Tuttle gets it out to Ruan Smith.
This is better from Jeeps.
This is the sort of stuff we've seen from Jeeps all season. As Ollie Bartlett takes the contact and Tuttle clears to JP Smith, who throws the ball out to his front row partner in Ryan Freeney, who throws a bit of a bludger, but cleaned up there from Davis Tavita.
I like the skills there from the front row though, J-Ball.
They're linking up well in midfield, aren't they? As we see them do it again right there, but they haven't picked up on that knock on from Ruan Smith. So play on, says the ref, and Tommy Kibble again. As we've seen for the first 35 minutes of this game, he's absolutely everywhere.
That's a good pick and go.
And that's a great pick and go from Smith, who gets to Horomire, who plays as an extra back rower for this Jeeps outfit. You can see them picking and going and just trying to chew those metres up close to the ruck. Smith hit by his opposite number, Richardson. As we see Horomire again getting in and doing the hard stuff. And Tuttle had runners, but he just had a bit of a slip in the hand. We'll see some pick and goes and the tight stuff here from Jeeps as Mitch King goes over, and Mitch King gets the try for Jeeps.
Great response there by Jeeps. Well done, Mitch King. Again, Jeeps look good when they're moving the ball quickly, and, you know, they were direct through a couple of pick and goes, got in behind you and then shifted it really well. So, benefiting from the reward, getting the reward there.
Yeah, we see Mitch King finishing off well there. They just look better when they're going on the front foot. Obviously, all teams do, but they just look good going the same way, I think. Jeeps getting a little bit of faster ball. The Smith boys, they're playing well tight. They're playing well loose at the moment as well.
Yep.
Even Ryan Freeney's finding himself in the middle and tipping it on.
And I think that stat there, 9 tries this season from Mitch King, really highlights just how dominant the Jeeps forward pack is. So UQ and Jeeps have both scored the most points this season with 553 and 519 respectively. And you've got a number 8 who's pushing double digits in the try stats. Michael Richards is very much the same.
Yeah, I think a lot of their tries have come from about 2 or 3 metres out as well. Combined total of probably
not
8 metres.
Not if you ask them on a Saturday night. 20 or 30 metres, mate. As always.
Big kick here for Bobby Tuttle.
Yeah, interesting stat. UQ have got double the amount of line breaks that Jeeps have this season. And we can see that's cost Jeeps a little bit this afternoon. They've had a few line breaks down that short side, UQ.
With only 2 more tries, I think.
Yeah,
overall.
that's right.
As Bobby Tuttle takes his time, walks in and hammers it straight through the middle, does Bobby Tuttle. So 2 minutes or so to go in this half, and the University of Queensland are up over Jeeps 24 points to 14. Do you think they'll go long here, Mosey?
I think they will. I think they'll be silly to go away from what's been working for them so far. I was going to say, I think Anthony Matheson will be happy that they got a converted try there. They probably needed that.
It looks like Uni's come to play and showed us to look like idiots as per usual by going short, but great take there by Ollie Bartlett. As we see Davis Tavita stepping in and taking that contact. And you'll think Jeeps will really want to try and get a couple more points coming into the half and be right in it.
And Harry Hocking's on there in 19.
He's tough to miss. He's a 6'10" youngster, so he's a big unit as he shoots out of the line and gets absolutely sniffed it down by
Tom Kibble.
Tom Kibble, the 18-year-old.
Do not argue. Do not argue.
He's got to roll away there.
And they choose to kick the ball away there, does Jeeps, which is a bit perplexing as Birch takes it close to the touchline, and Jock Campbell tiptoeing his way through that line. And it looks like Uni might have the last possession of this half with a minute or so to go as Richardson and Morrie gets it to his locking partner, Angus Scott Young. Jimmy Dalglish down this far side finds Con Foley, the Aussie Sevens representative, and Jack DeGangan as we see the hooter go in the background.
Okay, thank you.
We actually hear the hooter go. We don't see it. As Jordan Way says, it was unplayable there, so that'll be half there as we see University of Queensland round out that first half, 24 points to 14 over Jeeps. So, guys, I've got to ask you, what's your general flavour of the game thus far, Tommy?
Oh, look, I think Chiefs have looked good when they've shifted the ball, as we alluded to during that first half. However, it's really important that we've got support on the ball carrier. A couple of times we've had some really good carries, and alluding back to that second middle lead he tried, there was no support there for the ball carrier, and hence Uni were able to turn it over. And
you've said yourself, Mosey, you know, both teams actually looked a bit scratchy, but they seem to be playing their way into a bit of form coming into that final 5 or 10.
Yeah, I think both teams have defended really well. I think obviously on the turnover ball a couple of times, Jeeps have just been found wanting down that short side. So I don't actually think they've got a lot to sort of fix up in terms of defending. They just need to be a little bit more aware of when they turn the ball over, scramble to get into defence, and then make sure McDermott doesn't take those little snipes and get him behind.
100%. He's been great all day. Now remember, every Friday during the Queensland Premier Grade competition, QPR Weekly is released to give you the lay of the land and a taste for what's to come. It includes all weekly content, stories, team lists and much more. In this week's program, we previewed all 4 clubs competing in the Premier Grade semi-finals thanks to the Rugby News form guide, as well as you can read about the Premier Rugby players who have been selected across Brisbane City and Queensland country for NRC. So guys, while we've got you, we all know this is the major semi-final, 1 versus 2 on the ladder. After this, we've got 3 versus 4, which is East versus South. So we'll have a bit of a yarn about that one. So I'll pick your brain, Tom. I mean, you guys played Jeeps. Jeeps obviously played East last week. And came away pretty handsomely. What are your thoughts about East? Do you think they're going to be up for it coming into the minor semi despite that heavy loss?
Oh, you've got to be. You've got no other choice but to get up for it. You know, it's do or die, and then they'll be aware of that. So, look, if they front up, they've definitely got a pack that can really work with the likes of Michael Gunn there and Tom Milosevic on the side. So they'll fancy their chances, but they're coming up against a pretty formidable South side on paper.
And that's it. We'll have a yarn about South now, Mosey, because as you said, you know, they did pick up some big guys, Michael Gunn and co. But South, we know, have obviously got the likes of Quade Cooper, Carmichael Hunt, and Maury Wangavalangi.
Yeah, look, their backline's been pretty.
But obviously Carmichael's not playing, handy. But they have picked up a few guys themselves. But last week they went down to Uni pretty convincingly as well. So, and they've been very scratchy over the last few weeks. What are your thoughts for the minor semi? Do you reckon they'll get up over the Tigers?
I think if they can get their attacking platform set and they go forward at the breakdown, I think they've got too much firepower out wide, particularly the likes of Jaden Armanu out the back there. Obviously Quade in the middle. Teddy Teller will come back to have a game. So, yeah, I think in terms of their attacking prowess, they'll be hard to stop.
100%, and I guess that's why a lot of them were selected recently in the Queensland country and Brisbane City sides. You know, you've got some guys there like Tautala Tasi who can score from absolutely anywhere and absolutely kill it.
Yeah, so he's come up from the Rabbitohs, I believe, this year, and he's been outstanding for them. Maury Wangavalangi on the end of the back line there, he's scored about 14 tries, I think, this year. So, yeah, look, I think it'll be a good match. I think East have played well against the Doggies a fortnight ago. Probably disappointed with the way they played against Jeeps last weekend. So they're a bit up, down, hot, cold at the moment. South seem to be coming in good form. So
it'll be an absolute ripper of a match. Now we'll kick back over here. We've got the key statistics for this semi-final, the major between Uni and Jeeps. So, I mean, we'll run through this here and we'll see how this applies to what we've just seen. But there's stuff like the tackle success. They've been so high all season. But, I mean, Jeeps have actually fallen off a few and Uni have really taken that advantage.
Yeah, it's one thing we've been really working hard on, all the club in particular in Premier Grade, is their first up tackles. I think they've actually probably nearly missed the most first up in the competition. However, their second efforts have what's really shorn them up in terms of the defence. And when you're playing against a side like Uni who are so elusive, it's really important that you stick those tackles so you can get some continuity across your defensive line.
And we can see there the penalties conceded, so we've actually got the 2 most penalised sides in the competition. We've seen a bit of it here, but I think Mosey, the most damning one there is the line breaks.
Absolutely. And look, they've doubled the amount of line breaks that Jeeps have got over the course of the season. They tend to finish off well, UQ, out wide with their back 3. So we can see there, if they make the line, they usually get a 5-pointer.
And I think those stats actually are somewhat indicative of how the game is going. We're seeing Uni really getting those good turnovers. We see they get much more turnovers than Jeeps. They're utilising that pill really well. They're capitalising on their opportunities. They're getting those line breaks, and they're absolutely ripping up. So, well, look, we can see here Tom Court absolutely reading the riot act to his fellow forwards. But I'll ask you, Mosey, I mean, having played at Uni yourself, what do you think Hino and Elton Berger and co would have been saying to the team coming into the second half?
Yeah, they'll be just telling them to stick to their processes, keep doing what works for them all year, get down in the 22, play that rolling maul, short games, the heavies call. They'll be wanting to keep it tight and keep pressing forward on the front foot.
And your thoughts, Tommy, you're obviously in reserve grade halfback, and you've been around the mixer despite your broken leg all season. What do you think? I was just about to say you could see LV absolutely blowing up Deluxe as LV does so well. What do you think LV would have been saying there in Matho and co?
I think LV will be really disappointed in terms of the turnovers that we've had due to our poor support to the breakdown. Like when we've had support there, we've got go forward ball and come away with tries. But more importantly also, when Uni have kicked, we've enabled Uni to get back and make the tackle on our guys catching the ball. We haven't really been working back, so not letting those kick chasers get in between the ball and the guy catching it. So just our work rate there off our kicks and finding some shape so we can play off.
And that's it. It's just been a few small little things from Jeeps that have really let them down. A line break here, a lack of communication there. So, and we can see it looks like Scotty Gale's actually wearing his white polo there. So I would have to assume that Scotty Gale isn't playing in this match, and we think it might be Sai Lalana Baravi coming off the bench, if at all, for Tate McDermott. So Mosey, what do you think Uni have to do to ride this game out?
I think the same as in the first half. If they can retain possession, identify those short spaces down the short side or the turnover ball, which may occur again in the back end of the second half, just with guys getting tired from both teams. Yeah, I think they'll look to capitalise on those opportunities.
And Tommy, do you think it's just about, as you said, just working on those little things for Jeeps?
Yeah, for mine, like the continuity is no drama, but you've got to ensure that you've got someone there supporting you as well. And with a team like Uni, when they've got 5 back rowers, you're not going to get many opportunities. So hang on to the footy, look after your mate going into contact, and be patient.
Well, we've got a big 40 minutes coming up in this Triple M semi-final as we see Jay Thompson go long and finds Josh Birch, who just takes it up into contact.
He's been quiet so far, Birch.
Yeah, Will Eadie's taking the spotlight, but he hasn't had much to do. Josh Birch, as we see Tate McDermott getting that ball away, but you'd have to say that went about a mile forward there from the youngster.
Yeah, it did, but again, McDermott looking dangerous.
You can see his Sevens pedigree. He actually played for the Aussie Sevens while still in school as a 17-year-old, so you can see that high-tempo play.
Well, Jordan Way.
Jordan Way, actually a part of the HSBC World Sevens Series. As you see the Uni bench there.
Young Clifton Sedu on the bench there, talking to one of the trainers.
I think we'll see a pretty big scrum here from the Jeeps boys. They'll be right up for it.
Scrum for a penalty here, I reckon.
Bind! Set!
Grant Smith is really well set here against Tom Quarters. John O'Kent takes into the contact. He gets that little lofted pass to Albert Nakoro, and White Sedu was all over that as Dan Gorman gets absolutely lit up by Angus Scott Young.
There you go, another good carry there by Albert, but White Sedu all over it.
Your hands on it. Originally you're fine, and then your hands are just on it at the end there, okay?
Jordan Way explaining why he was no good there, White Sedu, but
I think Sedu's lucky not to have been pinged there, J-Ball, and he's having a crack at the ref. I think he might just want to get on with it.
Might just want to pipe down a little bit. We've still got 39 minutes to go.
Good game management there by Jordan Way, though, explaining his decision to him.
Come on, Heavies! Crouch! Bind!
You see, this is a pearler of a shot here, just getting low to be able to show Tom Court, Ruan Smith going hammer and tong here. But well held there by the Red Heavies as Dalgleish pumps it downfield. And we see Albert Nakoro with a good catch. Puts it on the toe. He's probably put a bit too much distance on it. to be able to contest it. Dalglish takes it easily. And Will Eadie up one-on-one with a loose head. 2 loose head props. You're not going to get past the pencil, though, as he wraps him up just inside the Jeeps 40.
Should have carried there, Jordan.
And it looks like the crowd is giving Jordan way.
It was a good ball there from Gangas. Straight into the ref.
Yeah, good pass actually, stepping into 6. Just too bad it wasn't to an actual player.
I'd drop it too if Mitch King and one of the Smith boys in front of me.
I'd probably drop it even if they weren't. As we see here, the big boys, the absolute big units of this Jeeps forward pack are blowing. 3 minutes into this second half.
Obviously got the scrum here on a wide edge. Where'd you go if you were uni here, Tim?
I'd set a platform here, up the middle actually, and look to play off that. But my Nostradamus skills have evaded me in the first half.
Yeah, they've been lacking of late.
They'll probably play it out the back to a second man runner.
And I wonder how much Harry Hockings having come on has really shored up this uni scrum. We've seen it quite good thus far.
I think his presence, just the size of the man. He's got some weight behind him. Young fella, still learning his trade in the second row. Has some skills though. Gee whiz.
He's certainly got game, that's for sure, does Harry Hockings.
I'm not adjusting. We good this one? Spaceman. Spaceman, that's what we need on this side.
They're not giving anything away, the UQ backline here. Pretty well set. Looks like they've got the opportunity to go wide. Edie sort of working in behind the scrum. You can't see him on shot. And Campbell in the wide channel.
So it'll be interesting to see as we see Uni doesn't get a clean hook, and that's ugly pill there for Tate McDermott, who gets absolutely monstered by this Jeeps forward pack, and they got absolutely devastated, did the students.
So they've worked that well there, Jeeps. They actually deserve a penalty for that that bit of aggression through contact there. It's great work from the scrum, and they pressed hard through the ruck there.
And that's it. That's their main attacking weapon, is their set piece. As you see here, you've got Ruan Smith on this near side, but it was an ugly hook there from Campbell Wakely, and Tate McDermott just got swarmed by green and blue.
Better work there at the ruck from Jeeps. They kept pressing past the ball. A bit more aggressive at the contact, I think.
And that's a good touch finder there, getting down towards the Uni red zone as we see Freeney going to the front, Ollie Bartlett, but it wasn't straight. And Tate McDermott jumps through like a jackrabbit, but he's gone into touch. And the line-out's been a bit wavy for the Jeeps boys thus far.
Yeah, it has been. Probably got away with that. That wasn't that straight. McDermott just touching the line as he's kicked the ball there.
Jeeps, you've got Tom Kibble in midfield here, probably looking for a carry.
As they go long to the back of the line-out and they set this maul, they'll definitely be wanting to try and get a few of these Uni numbers sucked in as Harry Hockings comes through the middle apparently. He's good to go. Harry Hockings, great job there as it's lost, and Wyatt Setu cleans it up but loses in contact. So Jeeps have still got good field position here, but they're starting on the back foot. As we see Michael Richards stepping into the first receiver role, and a great pill there from Horemaya as John O'Kent, former Canberra Raiders under-20s representative, takes the contact on the far side as Tuttle clears out and they latch on, do the Jeeps forwards. Strong into contact as Kibble plays out the back to absolutely no one, but Davis Tavita puts it on the toe, looks to find a bit of space, and he's done just that, and isn't that an absolute ripper of an off-break?
That's better there from Jeeps. A little bit wavy with the pass going to ground, but he's identified there's a little bit of space in behind Will Eadie, the winger there, who's playing up flat. Great little nudge. Get him on some attacking soil down here, Jeeps.
Great experienced little play there from Davis Tavita.
We really need to go after the line out here, obviously 5 metres out, pressure Uni into potentially turning it over.
But well won by Uni midfield as they get it to Angus Scott-Young, who's wrapped up and brought down by King, who's caught in a bad position here, but ball is available for McDermott to clear back to Dalglish, who puts it on the toe and does what he does best, and hammers it up over the 22.
I think you were right there, Tommy. Sorry, J-Ball. I think they wanted to do a little bit more there, Jeeps. They just seemed a bit passive in their defence of that line-out. Had a great opportunity to sort of put a bit of pressure on. They sort of just let them go to 2, go to 4, just off the back, and then they've rolled out of their 22.
As they go long to the back and Freeney gets it, and it's off the top. Comes Davis Savita, who takes it.
Adam Korchek on for UQ too.
Yeah, and he's hard to miss as well, the big unit, with the tape around his head and the flowing blonde locks as we see him there. Slip off the tackle of his Reds teammate, JP Smith, and we see good latch there from Ollie Bartlett, but a strong hit from Hamish Richardson.
Prop.
It's always glorious to see the big boys going hammer and tong as we see Paddy Nicholson going for the league play, putting it on the toe, and it goes just before the try line. That's a good little kick.
I like that. And Jeeps have made a concerted effort to start to play with a bit more width. We see in this early in the second half here. That's twice they've gone wider out the back. They didn't do a lot of that in the first half. It seems like they're maybe had a bit of a word from Primsloo at half time.
Looks like they're playing field position and they're just got to back their defence as they put the shot on here. Does Freeney on Scott Young, but he gets a good bit of meterage there after the first contact, but you definitely cannot do that in the bottom of a ruck.
Yeah, they've let them off the hook there a little bit, the Gallopers.
Bit of inexperience there from Tom Kibble maybe.
Yeah, just a little bit eager. I think, obviously haven't had many opportunities down there and trying to force every breakdown into a turnover.
Dalglish finds touch-ups towards the Uni 10-metre line.
So they'll look to Foley here, I reckon, in midfield. Or Setu to carry.
How many? 6.
They'll have a good opportunity both sides of the park, left and right.
Hockings with the win without even jumping, as we see Setu running that great line. Heavy unders line there from Setu, straight off the shoulder as Dalglish, without the options, takes contact. Scott Young teams up with Wakely on the far side. McDermott goes himself, but it's turned over and knocked on, unfortunately, from Ollie Bartlett. So Uni have the advantage here, so they're going to look to try and use it as they get it out to Josh Birch, who hasn't been able to do much, but he's absolutely sniffed at his opposition down that far side. Put him on his seat, but he's just lost it in contact.
Yeah, John O'Kent got a nice don't argue there, I think, from
Josh Birch.
From Josh Birch.
Yeah, both from league backgrounds.
We'll have a chat about that one after the game.
Yeah, Josh Birch, obviously, with the Newcastle Knights under-20s.
Sorry? How'd you see that last one?
John
Last one,
O'Kent,
ball's coming
Raiders.
very quickly, and then it's all gone around. So just reaffirm, keeping square.
So say if that ball stayed in, they're wheeled around?
Potentially.
Yeah.
The last one's just going around. Staying square, pushing straight. Okay? Same message for both teams.
Let's go.
I'll just give them the message.
Campbell Wakely, how did you see that one? Great.
Not well. Not well for you boys. But we'll see here Ruan Smith just saying, I know how to scrummage, it's all I do.
Bind. Set.
Great set-piece battle so far today.
And that's a good, strong base there from Jeeps. It's at the back, so they're going to play as King clears out to Tuttle, who finds Horomia, who's been so strong over the last month.
Hasn't he?
For Jeeps in the midfield. He's been one of their best, as we see Jay Thompson just drop it on the left boot, but too easy. Caught on the full there as we see Jock Campbell with a bit of room to move, and he's got support in Will Eadie and Con Foley, but he's just heard it to the sideline by Mitch King.
It's well done there from Jeeps. They held off. As you were saying at half time, Tommy, getting a bit more of a alignment with their kick chase. And Campbell tried to get around him.
Yeah, exactly right. Great work right there by Big Mitchy King. But that was a really good carry there by Alphonse. It was interesting that they didn't keep going the same way because they had got around Uni there, but we sort of came back to where they were set. But good outcome.
And they've gone for the short man at the front.
Bobby with his
Tuttle
first line-out win.
with the line-out win.
1 from 1, 100%.
He'll claim that.
As Gorman takes the contact. And Tuttle again goes himself, and he's found some space straight through the uni D.
Richards,
As
great
Richards,
ball.
good quick pill, and Kibble gets a triple cutout to Nakora, and we see here
Mitch Trelevin.
Mitch Trelevin, the youngster, with the fleet-footed work down that far side. And King gets the short ball there to Gorman, who gets it back to King, who comes out the back to Davis Tavita, and probably should have looked to sing it there and get a bit of width. But he's taken the contact. Now Tuttle decides to go back down the far side. And Kibble. We see there Nakora getting in and doing a bit of the tough stuff with the forwards. And there's some quick defensive pressure there coming from Jock Campbell. Better be lucky not to give away some penalties in this red zone to Uni.
Got to work to find some alignment here, Jeeves. We all can't be flat in the line. So
And there's
after
a
this
good
one,
little run there from JP Smith, and the pencil going himself.
White
Setu's all over that, and he's nearly affected it, but just came in time. And we see Horemire again getting in and doing the hard work.
Great patience
That
here from the
ball's out
Gallopers.
there, so Tom Kibble takes it quick. They're going to have to try and motor the Jeeps forwards and make sure they retain this pill. As we see Horemire one more time try to go again. It would be good to see them play with a bit of width here, as Mitch King does the exact opposite and goes straight into the guts one more time. They've probably gone one phase too late to go out with a bit of width there. We see the Smith twins latch on, become one, and go straight into that Uni defensive line.
He's offside.
And Setu was offside there, but Jordan Way said it's sweet as they come down the far side. And Dalgleish, it looks like, has knocked it on in the contact.
That's a lot better there from Jeeps. Consistency, hands on the ball, going forward, taking the right options, and a bit of patience there, Tommy.
Yeah, look, obviously got a scrum now, so they'll fancy their chances here to potentially push them back and for a pushover or get a penalty from it. So, or would they like to see Jeeps maybe potentially just work a little bit harder in their alignment off those pick and goes? So they're getting good go for, but then when the ball is going, we're a little bit flat-footed at times. So that's a credit to the University of Defence.
A couple of changes here. Matt Jekyll into action.
You can't miss him in the orange headgear.
The youngster, and we've got Ryan Frenny there. So just talking to the Jeeps boys again, we've got to give a special mention to Height for Hire, the major sponsor of Jeeps, for their long-term support of the club and grassroots rugby. Now, as you said, we have got Matt Jekyll on the pitch, the Mulaney Bushranger himself, just selected in the Brisbane City side. So just deserves for what has been a really big season for the youngster.
Has had a great year. He's come on there for Tom Kibble. No, he hasn't. Tom Kibble's still on.
Yeah, Mitch King on
Mitch
the lead.
King's gone off.
So 2 sevens on the field effectively for Jeep, so they'll look to speed the play up.
And you've still got Michael Richards as well, who's got a massive motor. So looks like they might be trying to match the back row of Uni.
Let's go now. Set.
And gee whiz,
Talk me through that, Jose.
I have no idea what's going on. I just saw Tom Court with his backside in the air, which is something that doesn't necessarily happen to Tom Court that often.
It looked like he just pointed to the scoreboard.
Do you reckon he's throwing a bit of
I
shade
don't
there?
know. He's a long way from it, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong.
Oh, no. People think there's a lot of chat in the front rows. There isn't. It's just a lot of trying to catch your breath.
Crouch.
But this will be big here. Smith against Court.
Set.
And they're really niggling each other here. As we see Jeeps strong set up here, and Tom Court's just folding straight in.
Out the back.
Tavita, good strong run there from the 10 as we see Jeeps with really good quick will. And Tom Kibble again playing the house down, but he's taken by Pat Morrie, and you can't say that came out without anything illegal.
That's all right, he'll take care of it. Yeah. Cynical.
He's in a bit of trouble here, Pat Murray.
Come. Had chat to you the first half. First time back under here. Got another one, okay?
Yeah.
I need you clean.
That's first penalty?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is final warning though.
Okay.
It actually looked like Pat Murray was just about to get up and walk straight off, so...
He was walking to the sideline there, wasn't he? Yeah, you got me. Oh, hang on, come back.
Scrum.
But you can just see it here, Pat Murray on the pill, but then off his feet there. And somehow the ball spews out.
Yeah, it's
on
one
the
of
uni
those.
side.
It's one of those things, Jay-Ball, isn't it? He's in a pretty good position there, Murray, and just sort of slips. There's no weight under him or something. Just kind of falls onto a knee, and yeah, you're out of the game then,
It's
aren't
just
you?
the half a second later, the action goes through and penalty given. So we can see here, this is going to be an absolutely massive scrum here. Uni are going to be right up for this, and Jeeps are going to be sniffing a bit of blood in the water here.
Don't think he'll be going too far from the scrum.
Fine.
No, you're spot on, Tom.
And you see Uni, obviously, a bit G'd up for it.
All six of you. All six of you. We're in a call above before me. Okay, so let's wait for my calls before we do anything.
Let's go, heavy. Let's go.
Let's go.
So you can see both packs absolutely frothing to get into this contact here.
You got Nakoro directly behind the scrum here. Might look to go to the left. Can't see it in shot.
Well, I'll be going away from White City.
So go left.
And here we go, Jeeps with the shunt, and they are moving forward. And wowee, that was an absolutely devastating scrum there from Jeeps. Bobby Tuttle sniffs towards the white line. And Pat Murray again being called out. They have got the warning, so they are going to have to be smart with it here as Horamiah catches well a bludger of a pass from Freeney, but he's over the try line and held up.
Well done, James Dalglish there. Got underneath Horamiah.
But they've got the penalty here. And it was just collapsing the scrum, but you can see it here. Horamiah powering over Jimmy Dalglish. Jeez, he's been good.
He's just strapped himself straight onto the ball there. He got underneath. This is energy sapping stuff at scrum time though, J-Ball, isn't it?
Isn't it? It absolutely saps you. But if you're the defensive team getting fed, that's where you get sapped. If you're getting up, you seem to be able to get that reserve tank going. And Jeeps, you can see they are absolutely up for this one. They got the penalty and decided to go for the scrum again, so they know that they've got this Red Heavies forward pack on skates.
Yeah, they're going to press this to the posts again. Getting the left side up.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Jeez, it's ugly already.
Early and collapse.
Tom caught in the world of trouble on that side as well.
Isn't he? I just sense that Jordan Way's getting a little frustrated here. J-Ball.
I think he's about to ride it
Got two
now.
penalty against you in the first half. One penalty against you there now. That one you come early and collapse, okay? One final warning, both of you.
We're going forward when it collapses.
The ball's not in there.
And you're right, absolutely.
So you're not wrong, Tom Court, but you're also not right. Because you can see it here, he said early and collapsing, and he is turning in there. Ruan Smith's got a good body position. Tom Court had his left shoulder turned in.
What's the theory behind that, Joe? Or is he trying to get the left-hand side scrum up for him to get wide off, or...?
No, more than anything, if he's just got to try and bury in and stay up here. And I think Ruan Smith is just really doing a good number on him.
Down.
Ruan Smith has got him
for the weight.
A great
That's
setup
strong.
here, but
That's
this
good.
is a strong
Here he goes.
set piece. But we can see Jeeps coming forward now.
Well, yes.
And they bounce back down
Albert
the far
Nakoro.
side. Albert Nakoro gets that short ball.
11.
And it looks like Mitch Trelevin has just danced straight over and picked up a 5-pointer for Jeeps.
Well, there we go. We saw it. That was an outstanding scrum. Both teams. They just got the right side around their Jeeps, and Bobby Tuttle took the right option on the left-hand side of the park there. Found Nakoro. Mitch Trelevin over.
Yeah, great platform there by the Jeeps scrum. If it wasn't going to be a penalty try next, I don't know what was, but good control there by Michael Richards and switch of play there by Bobby Tuttle, and great line there by Mitch Trelevin.
Thought Nakoro might have fell over the line there, but unselfishly offloaded to his outside partner. It's well done. Good work, Jeeps. They're back in it here.
I think Jeeps actually going out of the back of that scrum saved Uni the yellow card, because I think Jordan Way, the pressure was coming through and he would have started to blow something up for him.
Yeah, I think so.
I think them clearing out 7 points there is probably the best option they could have gotten.
Well, at least he's got the shot from a little wider here for Uni's sake. Not the old penalty try under the sticks. Tuttle's kicked well today.
And again, if he pots this one over, they're 3 points behind, and as we said, the kicking could come into play here towards the back end.
Exciting last 20. Exciting last 20.
As Bobby Tuttle steps up, looks like he's curled it back, and that's a great kick from Bobby Tuttle. Now, as always, we have to give a special mention to Buildcorp, the major sponsor of UQ, for their long-term support of the club and grassroots rugby, as you see the students meandering back and taking their time off this kickoff.
TJ Siakasini on.
The big unit.
In a blank jersey, I believe.
He typically does, and Harry Hawkins going up like Air Jordan, unfortunately unable to get that pill back, but geez, he looked good in the air.
Sean Farrell too, on for UQ in 16 in the front row. Young man from the sunny coast.
Yeah, the Aussie under-20s representatives, we see it here. Harry Hawkins, how you going? Almost snakes that.
Is that a Falcon?
I think it was.
This game's had it all. Fantastic stuff. And you can see there, Pat Murray a good at least 6 or 7 inches shorter than Harry Hawkins, his second row partner. Pat Murray is not a small man himself.
Good double as a weather tower.
Hawkins' work in the air is awesome.
Yeah.
It is AFL-like.
For a guy of his size, he really looks good in the air. Really skillful for such a big unit. We can see here this pressure coming through. Tom Court's in an ugly position, and he is getting fed by Ruan Smith.
Bit of cheese
and they are just marching up here in the Gallopers. As you see, David Stavita straight through. Looks like he was running in quicksand compared to Wyatt Sedu there, but he's just taking the settler, and we see Bobby Tuttle go down that far side, and Jay Thompson with a smart little dink through.
That's well done there from Thompson. He's identified a little bit of space there, dropped it in behind. As you see here, this scrum from Jeeps, outstanding. Ruan Smith moving forwards. Keep going.
And that's no slouch. That's Tom Court, former Irish international and British and Irish Lions representative.
I understand. He nearly ended up in the Jeeps front row, didn't he? Like,
it's got to be a reward for us.
It's an ugly looking kick there from Bobby Tuttle, and it doesn't find touch. And Jock Campbell has enough time just to go, how you going, and hammer it straight back down into the Jeeps 50 metre. We see here Jeeps looking just to get the ball playing. Tavita goes wide to Tom Kibble in midfield.
Look to come back here, Jeeps.
And they've bounced back. Bobby Tuttle out back here, Tavita. And we see the front rower bumps off Angus Scott Young. Take a seat, young man. Ruan Smith's coming through. And we see a great little jink over the top there. And Matt Jekyll all over him. But Jock Campbell, like he's got spiders on him, dances straight through and makes 20 metres. We see Harry Hawkins. TJ Siakasini comes full-on contact and gets a great offload away to Sean Farrell. This is great footy here. And Jimmy Dalglish goes, let's just get down there and play position, shall we? With a great kick, it goes out 6 metres from the Jeeps try line.
I'll tell you what, great work here from Smith to go straight over the top of Scott Young.
Oh,
boom!
Isn't that the good stuff right there?
What have we got?
We can see Jeeps sucking in the big ones. Absolutely blowing.
And they were on attack there, Jeeps. They'll be disappointed to be in their 5-metre corner.
And they go long here. Good, smart plays. We see Tom Kibble. Who else? Taking that pill. Getting up towards the 22. And you'll see here, Jeeps just trying to get out of their own red zone. But Josh Birch gets it straight on the touchline, gets midfield with Jock Campbell, who can skin you alive. And here he comes, Jock Campbell. What a run from the youngsters. He finds Scott Young. And now they're back down straight to the Jeeps 22. But Matt Jekyll trying to put some pressure on here. And Tate McDermott goes down the far side. And then decides to come back into the open side and finds Matt Jekyll. Strips it out. Bobby Tuttle gets it out to the far side here. If they use it here, but Albert Nikoro just puts it on the shoe and it looks like it came off his shin and shanked a little bit.
Absolutely, they look a little tired here, Jeeps. I was going to say, this is a good kick if there's a good chase, but Campbell off the left, Horomir down, finds a lot of space in behind there, Campbell. Pretty good work.
Making Jeeps look like statues.
Yeah, not a great chase.
Looks like Freddie Burke's coming on for Smith.
Good.
Not a bad substitution when you can get Ruan Smith, the Queensland representative prop, coming off for arguably the best prop in the Queensland Premier Grade competition. What'd you say about Freddie Burke? It was, what position does he play, scrum?
Yeah, he refers to it as a position. Flat ball there by McDermott.
And we see Korchik in midfield.
Abrasive.
Court coming out the back here with the second man play. Jock Campbell getting hit hard by Dan Gorman. McDermott now to Harry Hawkins. Looks like they're marching up the field well here, are the students. They just need to maintain possession here and just continue working as they're dictating play here well. And Dalgleish now with not many options, and he's wrapped up by Horomir and Jekyll. As we see here, Pat Murray picked up and hit by Matt Jekyll. He's only a small fella, but he's as strong as an ox.
No, 12 off his feet, played on the ground.
And there we see there, Horomir
12 off feet, playing on the ground.
Playing the ball on the ground and giving away a penalty in a crucial area.
Going for the corner here, Uni, looking for a 7-pointer rather than the 3.
Dan Gorman, boys, owns a cafe, no?
Famished on Fraser's, actually, just in Inaugura.
One of the best.
It is very good.
Might get a latte on the way home.
Go for gold. Yeah, knowing and looking at Dan Gorman, you wouldn't think he's the cafe owner type, but he's actually an absolute gunner. As we see Troy Simpkin and Jonah Palonga coming on, so we'll see Freeney and JP Smith coming off.
Big game by Ryan Freeney today.
Been outstanding at scrum time.
The Great White Shark, as he's affectionately known, GWS, putting in a solid 67 minutes.
So this might change the set play a little bit here.
Oh, and here we go, an ugly throw there. Sean Farrell releases the pressure valve.
Jay Thompson pocket.
As he just goes bang and gets it out of there.
So a nice smooth kick, Thompson.
And that's a good clearance kick up over the 40-metre line there for Jeeps.
Interesting call there for mine, Tim. Uni not taking the 3 in that situation. What would you do?
Yeah, I think I would have taken the 3 there, Tommy. They could have chewed up a few more minutes. Got the ball back off a 22 if they missed it.
And then it puts them in a position there where they've got a second line out going awry. And Tom Kibble, God, he loves contact, doesn't he? And TJ Siakasini says, if you love it, I'll hook you up.
Oh,
okay. Wowee, that's a tough call there, but Jordan Way has said it's a maul. Come on, Jack DeGangan, cheer up a bit, mate. You're 3 points up. Looking pretty glum there with Gangers.
So some new players into the fray here in the front row from both teams.
Good one. Tough.
Come back.
Game's in the balance here, boys. 12 minutes to go. Both teams look likely. I think Jeeps have looked a little tired in their defence. A little more tired than, say, UQ have. Could go either way still.
Very back and forth game. You've seen one team getting ascendancy and then another one bouncing back well.
Momentum's a great thing in footy, isn't it?
Here we go.
And there we are.
TJ.
Look at that. 71 tackle bust in 2018 for TJ Siakasini. So for anyone out there, he's not a front rower. He's an inside centre. And he is built like a brick outhouse and has to wear a jersey with no number. And 71 tackle busts.
Used to play down at Bond.
He won the reserve grade premiership for him a few years ago.
You certainly run over me a couple of times.
But you called touch.
I did.
Yeah. On the way to the tuck shot, was it? Standing in the way.
From the ground on my back.
Maintain space.
Take that good picture, boys.
Let's work hard to maintain space.
Here we go. Here we go, Hebbies.
So we've got an all-new front row for Jeeps here. It'll be interesting to see how they go up against Tom Court and Hamish Richardson, who've been battling pretty hard.
Bind. Set.
There we go, quick strike there from Farrell, but that's a huge scrum from Jeeps, and they've wheeled that. And they've
Pushing straight.
There we go, forwards on both sides.
they've gotten them for not pushing straight on that scrum.
Gee, that's interesting. He hasn't called
I
that on
think that
Jeeps.
is a tough call, actually,
whole
to be
match.
really honest. You could see here they were coming up and through, but then it was Hamish Richardson pulling out of the fight. So very lucky there, the students, to come away with that. But it's been given, and now Red Heavies have a great opportunity.
And again,
17 out coming into the final 10.
Healthy
Again.
crowd.
yeah, healthy crowd. They play in the corner again here, UQ. 10 to go. They'll be wanting to put it to bed here, I'd imagine.
Sean Farrell's been off with his throwing the last two, so they'll really want to be making sure they nail it, which is crazy to think when you've got Harry Hocking standing there.
There you go,
Doesn't
nice
miss
and
that
simple.
one.
Straight to two.
And as we see here, they're well set up here as Uni. This is a very well set up maul. And Tommy Kibble's trying to work his way through. But it's well set up, and the pencil. So when it helps being skinny, you can work your way straight through, and Dan Gorman's come through illegally. Unfortunately, it's the students have the advantage, and they'll just try and chew this up a bit here, pick and go.
Siakasini just off Scott Young there.
5 green side.
So Gorman ping for coming in the side there.
And you can see it here, Dan Gorman.
Even on that advantage, we want to play.
He got
mile
caught.
offside.
Yeah, he got caught moving backwards and then just decided to jump on the back of
Great maul, great
the
maul.
back of the maul.
Back 10. Back 10, please.
And they're still sticking to try and get this try. They want to take it out past 7 points. So if they don't come away with it, they're going to really bury themselves. They're either going to look fantastic or not too good.
Yeah, and I think they're going to go to Hawkins again here.
Well, why wouldn't you? Yeah, nice
Surprise,
easy line
surprise, Harry Hawkins takes that pill towards the front of the line out. But Jeeps are well set up here.
out. Good counter by
And
Jeeps
Michael
there.
Richards has come through that ruck there. So they've got to come out. TJ Siakasini comes straight into contact, and they've committed forward. He gets the offload away, and it looks like it's been played backwards as we see Adam Korchik. So aggressive, but Alfonso
hit.
Horemaya is
Susie.
playing the house down. He's swinging him around as we see Hamish Richardson one-on-one with Michael Richards. And they're close here, the students. They just want to maintain position.
Oh, Thompson.
But they were close there as we see Siakasini. He's
Oh,
over
lost
there,
that.
but he spilt the beans.
Gee, I
And
don't
he's
know.
saying he got that on the line before he spilled it, but according to Jordan Way, he's coughed it up.
Off first glance, I thought he got it down, but I'll take the knock on.
I'd like to see here it is in the replay. Siakasini gets low, and then he goes close to the line.
Oh, man. Looks
Oh,
like he
no,
probably
I've
did lose
got,
that.
I've got to go in with Jordan Way
Yeah,
there.
I agree.
If anyone's in a good position, it's Jordan Way. And look, you'd have to give it to him, saying that he's knocked it on. And Dan Gorman and Tom Kibble looks like he's just chilling out for a bit. Any more laid back if he lying down.
Yeah, he's had both these boys have had enormous matches.
Does he realise he's playing a game of footy? Look
He's
at him.
on a deck chair.
Yeah. He didn't cop a head knock or something, did he?
He deserves half a second to get a drink, the young fella, to be honest. We see here Uni just collecting themselves. Scotty Gale in there, probably giving him a couple of words from coach Mick Heenan. saying just continue to do what we do well in the 22. Get our hands on the ball.
And it's credit to Uni, the depth that they've got at their club, that they can lose someone of Scotty Gale's calibre and Cliffy Setu and still have guys like Josh Birch, Tate McDermott, Jock Campbell to step into that role.
Absolutely. I think Jeeps will be fancying their chances here, potentially scrumming for a penalty, but if not, look to play off the back with Bobby Tuttle and use his right boot towards that right-hand touchline and get him out of trouble.
I'd like to see Jeeps try and actually work their way out of here. I mean, there is still 8 minutes, so you do have the time to bury it down, but we saw before Albert Nakoro would have had a good shot if he actually worked a way out, so... And it'd be good to see Jay Thompson get his hands on the ball a bit. He's by far the best, I guess, individual attacker in the Chiefs back line.
Yeah, in terms of one-on-one, he's not trying to catch smoke. So.
But Con Foley's really kept him quiet today.
No, it shows the class of Con Foley. He's obviously very experienced, and he's contained Jay quite well.
And I guess that's probably why they've shifted Foley to 13 and played Brad Twydale there, as we see Jonah Plonga going down, and there's a penalty.
Great outcome there for Jeeps.
Tom
looks
Court.
like a bit of cheese coming.
And Tom Court's going to be riding a bit of pine. No, it's Hamish Richardson, the youngster. Well, this is massive. With 8 minutes to go, you're going down one of your front rowers. And you can see it here. Hamish Richardson was just in a poor position initially, and Jonah Plonga was able to get up and underneath. And he just was way too overstretched there. You can see straight legs, elbow down. And he's going to be riding the last 8 minutes on the pine here. You can see Jeeps getting pretty up for this one.
Yeah, Simkin looking to get a little bit of pep going here. They want to take it up a little notch with an extra man advantage, I'd imagine.
And I can think that must be why they've changed the front row. They really want to try and get some fresh legs out there. As they see Simkin go to the back, Michael Richards gathers that well, and Davis Savita just takes the contact into Sia Cassini, who whacks him hard.
Two big bodies there.
We see Freddie Burke doing the tough stuff. A wide Setu affecting another turnover, doing what he does so well. But Davis DeVita's on this as they come down this side here with Siakasini.
Great ball.
And Brad Twydale down the far side, wrapped up well there by Paddy Nicholson.
Jeeps are tight here.
And there it is, a great shot there low by Ollie Bartlett. And we've got the turnover here affected, and it looks like Jeeps are going for it. Matt Jekyll, the Mulaney Bushranger, quick on that pill. Smart footy there by Jeeps with the counter ruck as we see them with a bit of space, but it's an ugly pass, and we see Jay Thompson here. It's like catching smoke, as you said, as he goes straight through Jay Thompson. As we see Jay Thompson drop it on the toe with the chip and chase, and he's all over Jock Campbell like a rash. But well done by Campbell to hold that pill there. But Jeeps are coming through. Looks like Uni are going off their feet there, but Jordan Way says it's sweet. Gone down. Jeeps ball inside the 22.
Wow, you're not wrong, Tommy Christie. Catching smoke was right. Thompson left foot, right foot, straight up the middle. Little chip and chase. I thought he should have kept it in hand here. You see off the left, off the right. And again, well, he's done four steps. Pat Murray left standing. Angus Scott Young. Oh, he had a little bit more room to go before Campbell was committed. I think he might have kicked that a little early.
A great outcome nonetheless there. Jeeps will be fancying their chances here with obviously Richardson off due to the last scrum infringement.
And it's those two numbers there that I could see, 17 and 16, Simpkin and Jonah Palonga.
Exactly.
That's why LV and Matho obviously would have brought them on. They want to get those younger guys out there that can motor.
Well, that's what you want from your bench, making an impact. And Troy's obviously fresh today, didn't play in the reserve grade game, as did Jonah and Freddie, and they've definitely had the spark since they've come on.
It's like SJ Tamala on here in the front row for UQ.
Yeah, SJ Tamala actually just his first year playing in the front row. Originally from Victoria, he's under the tutelage of Ruben Leilua.
Rubes.
Big Rubes.
G'day, Rubes. How are you?
We can see here, good platform here from Jeeps. I want to keep it in. They've obviously got the numerical advantage, and SJ Tamala goes down as we see Bobby Tuttle get it out to DeVita, and we see Hormeyer again strong into the contact zone there. And they play quick with a bit of a bad pass there from Jekyll, but he takes it into contact well, but knocks it on, but they've still got that advantage. And I think you'll see them come back and go for another scrum. Do you think that not taking those 3 points is going to come back to haunt Uni?
It seems that way, J-Ball, at the moment. I think Jeeps look good here. They've got 4 minutes. If they can keep patient, they're certainly going to... well, they're going to call scrum here, surely, yeah.
I don't think it was even a question, to be brutally honest, but this will be huge here for SJ Tamala, a youngster, as I said, first year playing tight head prop. He first learnt the trade a few years ago by watching some Super Rugby and said he wants to play that game. So he spent the last few years, come up to uni, shed a few kegs, and now he's working with Ruben Leilua to really up his game. So he's a bit of a baptism of fire right here.
Probably his biggest scrum he's ever about to pack right now.
They're just going to keep it at the back here, surely.
Freddie Burke's got a really good, strong position here. We see Tom Court going straight up. But they've said both front rows have gone straight up there.
Just Uni packing it slightly higher than what they were at the start of the game, trying to take Jeep's power out of the scrum. Smart play there.
Not a lot of time left here to keep resetting scrums from a Jeep's perspective.
There's plenty of time. According to Dan Gorman and Michael Richards, you can see they are happy to keep at it. They can sniff something here, can the Jeep stalwarts. Can they do what they did last year to Uni and beat them in the major semi and go straight through to the big dance from second on the ladder? They've got 2.5 minutes to do so, and they're in their Uni red zone. As you see, big shunt there from Tom Court. And it stood up there, but good scrum there from the students as we see Albert Okoro with that floating pass off the hip of Davis Tavita. And slow pill here as we see Davis Tavita getting into the mixer. But it looks like Adam Korchik's all over that. They're going to have to be quick here, our Jeeps, as you see Matt Jekyll gets a short ball away there. They need to go quick here. And it looks like that was slapped out of his hands there. But they've got him for a scrum, which they're not too fussed about at the Jeeps boys, but White said who's all over that. And this is good quick pill here from Tuttle as we see Tom Kibble with the latch on. Played the house down today as the 18-year-old. As we see Freddie Burke. Freddie Burke goes over the line there, but he's held up. And it's taken 4 students to hold up Fred Burke over the line. They've got 90 seconds here to do what they do best, and that's scrummage.
Wow, we see here, wide ball, Tom Kibble again. He's been a man possessed today, and Burke takes 3 guys over the line. Is that Twidale there gets underneath him, and Jock Campbell.
And
well done
Harry
from the
Hawkins
outside
and
backs.
Tate McDermott.
Just Tommy Kibble there, great awareness there to keep speeding the ball and popping to Freddie Burke rather than leaving the ball at the back to be cleared by James Tuttle, and very nearly paid off.
And we've heard the siren go in the background, so we're actually, according to the clock at the ground, we are 0-0.
This is it.
This won't be going too far from the scrum here.
So this is absolutely massive. You can see Tom Court and SJ Tamala's here. And listen to the crowd. They are absolutely heaving here at Ballymore.
They're giving it to them. Oh, the Jeeps.
And you can hear the Jeeps chant.
The Jeeps chant's gone up.
I don't know.
Dan Gorman there.
Don't know if you
having a lot to say.
Do you put TJ in the scrum to try and shore it up a bit and leave yourself exposed out wide?
Yeah, I think that would be the best option. Put him at number 8, get a bit of his size. There's no point dying trying here.
Gee, a lot of pressure on everyone here.
Who'd want to be Jordan Way in this instance?
I can tell you right now, not me. I'm nervous just up here calling the game. And this is a good, strong platform here, but they've got to go out. Bobby Tuttle gets it out to Davis Tavita. Davis Tavita isolated, but he's still able to get the ball back as Horamiah goes into this Channel 9 roll. But Tom Kibble throws a short ball that goes down low there. But Pat Murray's all over that, and he's affected the turnover, and the students have got the penalty. Pat Murray with the turnover.
Wow. What a finish.
And you can see it here, yes. Pat
Dan
Murray
Gorman.
all over it.
That's well done there from UQ. Murray straight on the ball, affecting the turnover and the
there
penalty.
It is. Jimmy Dalglish buries it into the 8th row, and the University of Queensland defeat Jeeps 24 points to 21 in this Triple M Queensland Premier Rugby semi-final. Boys, what an absolute perler of a match. We see the students doing what they couldn't do last year and going straight into the big dance in the first week of the finals.
Wow, what a way to finish, eh? Both teams are packing down in the scrum. One man down, but yeah, we saw Uni hold on there at the very end. So credit to both sides. I think UQ sort of held on there in the end.
Yeah, they got out the blocks really well, UQ, and Jeeps nearly ran them down. So if that's anything to go by for the rest of the final series, we're in for a great series.
And I'll ask you, Tommy, obviously Jeeps are going to go back to the drawing board. Do you think there's going to be too much they need to work on at all? Or will it be much the same and they'll just wait to see who they verse out of East and South?
Oh, yeah, look, obviously you've got to assess who you're playing because each team's got their strengths and weaknesses. But just from our own point of view, it's probably just getting our small details right. We showed when we were able to string together phases and continuity in attack, we look good, but it's ensuring that we have those opportunities.
And obviously Mosey, Uni now had the week off. Rest up a few of those battered bodies. You've got guys like Scotty Gale and co who obviously have a couple of niggles, so they'll be really looking forward to that, yeah?
Yeah, look, they've gone straight into the grand final. You get the week off. They'll come out here next week as a team, I'd imagine, sit on the hill and see who they're going to play. But yeah, the extra week just gives those guys with little niggles, little bumps from this week, but also who haven't played today, like Scotty Gale, the opportunity to get up for 2 weeks' time.
Well, we've seen an absolute perler of a match, and it's been a privilege to have both Tom Christie and Tim Mosey in with us today. Thanks for joining us, lads.
Thank you for having me. It's always great.
It's been great to be here. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure, boys. Now, with University of Queensland winning, they head through to the grand final in 2 weeks' time, whilst Jeeps will play the winner of the match coming up next between Souths and East. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. The minor semi-final will be starting on a new stream from 5:05pm this afternoon, and as always, we'll broadcast live and free via redsrugby.com.au. I'm your host, Jay Bohr Staunton. Good afternoon.